guys, today we're going to look at constant rates of changes. A rate of change is a rate that describes how one quantity changes in relation to another quantity. For example, if we look at this table, as days go up, the amount of money earned also goes up. So we're looking at how much they're making per day. A proportional relationship between two quantities is one in which the rate of changes is constant. So we're going to practice looking at this table and deciding, does this table have a constant rate of change? So let's look at it a little closer. We're going to take the total amount of money and put it over the number of days. So if we take the first two numbers, we 16 over 1, and if we take 16 and divide it by 1, we would get 16. Okay, let's try the next one. 32, money over the days, and we're going to figure out what is the money per day in this situation. So first number goes in, 32, and last number goes out. 2 goes into 32, or 2 goes into 3 once, and then bring down a 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times, and that ends up being 16 as well. So I'm going to box in my answers as I go. So 16 for the first one, $16 per day for the second one. Let's do the next one. 48 over 3. First number in, last number out. 3 goes into 4 once. 1 left over. Bring down the 8. 3 goes into 18 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. So that ended up being 16. 64 over 4. First number in, last number out. 4 goes into 6 once, with 2 left over. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 24 6 times. Okay, and the last one, 80 over 5. First number in, last number out. 5 goes into 8 once. Bring down the 3, or bring down the 0. 5 goes into 30 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30, and so we got 16 every time. And what this is saying is, for each day, they're earning $16. Since this worked out for the whole entire table, this is showing a good constant rate of change. Now, if for some reason, let's say one of these numbers is different, let's say that this 16 actually started off as 8. Well, this first rate of change would have been 8 divided by 1, which is 8. And then the rest of them, when we divide, we would have gotten 16. So since that 8 would have made it inconsistent, this would not have been a constant rate of change. Alright, next definition. The constant of proportionality represents the constant rate of change or constant ratio between x and y. Most of the time when you see a table like this, this will be our x variable and this is our y. So x stands for number of pounds and then y stands for the total cost for those pounds. And we're going to practice writing an equation, y equals kx, where k is our constant of proportionality. And to find the constant, we're going to take y and divide it by x. It's very similar to what we did a minute ago. So let's figure out what is the constant rate of change. So in this case, the constant would represent the cost per pound. Very similar to unit rates as well. So we're going to do y over x. For the first one, it'll be 2 over 10. Remember, first number goes in, last number goes out. 10 does not go into 2, so we're going to add a decimal and a 0. 10 does go into 20 2 times. When we subtract 20, there's 0 left over. So I'm getting 0.2 here. We need to check the rest to make sure that it is also constant, because if any of these numbers messes up, it is not a constant rate of change and we cannot find the equation for it. Okay, let's do y over x again. 4 over 20. First number in, last number out. 20 does not go into 4, so I'm adding my decimal and 0. 20 does go into 40 twice. 20 times 2 is 40 with 0 left over. So we got 0.2 here as well. Again, let's do y over x. So 6 over 30. First in, last out. 30 does not go into 6, so I'm adding my decimals and zeros. 30 goes into 60 twice. 30 times 2 is 60. 3 times 2 is 6, so 30 times 2 is 60. Okay, 0.2 again. So far it's looking good. Let's try the last one. 8 over 40. First in, last out. 40 does not go into 8, so I'm adding my decimals and zeros. 40 does go into 80 2 times. 40 times 2 is 80. Okay, so we got 0.2 every single time. So let's write an equation for it. So we know our constant rate of change. This is the K, constant of proportionality. And then we're going to write our equation, y equals, so the total cost would be equal to 0. And I'm going to make this at 20, 0.20, since we are talking about money. And then it'll be x. Y equals 0.20x. So it's 20 cents per pound. Okay guys, we looked at constant rates of changes. We can now look at a table and decide, is it consistent every single time? Yes, you need to work out every single part of the table, because they could trick you by messing up just one number. Like I said, if this first number here, if that 16 was an 8, it would have messed it up for the whole entire table. Even though the rest of these, when we divided, we would have gotten 16, the first one would have been an 8. So that would not have been a constant rate of change. So yes, divide every single time, and then always remember y divided by x. Y goes on top, x on bottom, and then you divide first in, last out. And then if we get the same number every single time, that's called the constant of proportionality. And then we can write an equation. The total cost y is equal to 20 cents per pound. Thanks for watching.